28 years later, 7 missions, 1 lunatic on a motorcycle. Ethan Hunt is back, and so is the end of the world. This time, not just nukes, not just rogue agents, it's something smarter, faster, unstoppable. The entity is back, the all-seeing AI with a grudge, and it wants to rewrite the world. But there's one problem. It didn't count on Ethan Hunt. Now he's skydiving into fire, chasing trains, and base jumping through a thunderstorm. But why press a button when you can risk your life for it? Friendships will be tested, alliances shattered, and Ethan still sprinting full speed into global catastrophe. Mission Impossible, the final reckoning. No mission's been ever more intense or more impossible.
These are hard. People don't realize how hard these are.
Yeah, it is. It is tough to do a voiceover. Luckily, I've had years of practice, and I've actually been paid to do some voiceover work.
Have you?
Once.
From where?
Let's just say I was the face of a company once. A company I never worked for, other than being the face of it.
The face of it. So the voiceover. So you were also the face and the voiceover.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I also was on camera.
What company was this?
It was an Airbnb company. They like had me walk through a bunch of their Airbnbs and pretend to be. Here was my character motivation. You're a chill guy who likes to spend time at Airbnbs.
Just likes to spend time at Airbnb. Just like that's your hobby.
That's
is just
hobby,
to go find Airbnbs to stay at.
Yeah.
Alone. Like
by myself.
Just, man, look at the drapes on this one.
Wow. This unfurnished vacant Airbnb is amazing. I would spend my nights here for sure.
That was your line. I would sleep in that bed for sure.
Dude, each one of these had like a 3-page script that I had to sit there and do a voiceover for.
Oh my gosh, it has a hot tub too.
Oh my worlds. The Knights of Columbus. This place is amazing.
I don't have to bring my own silverware.
Just a chill guy who likes to spend time at Airbnbs.
You steal soap.
But he never drops it.
Well, welcome to Burnt or Buttered, where we are going to be talking about Mission Impossible,
the final reckoning.
And when I was a kid, I really liked Mission Impossible, the first Mission Impossible. I watched it a ton of times. The gum exploding, the stealing stuff from the ceiling. Like, I mean, there's tons of things, including the running that you get to that makes you fall in love with this spy film. Like the first one is legitimately just kind of a perfect spy film, I feel like. Yeah,
I saw the second Mission Impossible before I ever saw the first one. Mm-hmm. And I didn't see the first one until I was a full-grown adult, like 3 years ago, I think I saw it. And it was so interesting to see that one after I've seen the progression, and how far it's come. That one is very much like a James Bond-esque movie. Mm-hmm. There were stunts, like coming down from the ceiling to work on the computer and whatnot, but there weren't stunts to the level that this one.
It's like very realistic. Where you're just like, oh yeah, that's what a spy would do. Yeah, like a very like good spy could do this type idea.
Easy.
And there's in all Mission Impossible, there's always that moral choice of saving a friend or saving the world.
And some might say that makes Ethan Hunt a villain for always choosing his friends.
That's what was interesting about this film, which I had never thought about it in the perspective that this really outlines for you, where I can't remember which character it was, but they talk about Ethan's wins and each mission that he's done, but they relate it into the way that Ethan has caused all these things to happen, and Ethan's caused all these people to die, and Ethan's caused all these things to pop up and all these other villains to surface because of the things that he's done. Like, he's the one that has essentially brought the world to its knees.
Yeah. And it was during that boardroom meeting where they had like all the generals and everything, and all the generals were reading the dossiers on Ethan's missions, and they're all like, so he broke into the CIA black box and stole a list of all of our active and then he gave it to the guy.
He's always giving the bad thing to the bad people.
And in this one, even that was the plan, was let him have it.
Yeah. Let's give the bad thing again to the worst person that we could possibly give it to.
And gamble it all on a blink of an eye.
Yeah. Timing is everything.
Yeah. That's what differentiates a good thief from a great thief. Timing. Also a good movie and a bad movie. Timing.
Which I think there's going to be some controversy on this one, on if this one went a little bit too long.
Yeah, I'll say straight off the bat, I think it was a little bit too long.
I think that I can see it being too long, but also I enjoyed all of it.
Yeah, at the time that we were watching it, I remember thinking, this is dragging, and it's not. Like, I felt tense the entire movie because straight from the kickoff, it's go, go, go. It's action. It's explosions, gunshots, the whole time. And so I'm sitting there like tense the whole time, and almost a 3-hour movie. That's a long time to be tense.
Yeah. But like with that, I think that of all type of films that have more than 3, that go into a storyline around a character, I think this movie was one of the best wrap-ups that I've ever seen. Like, it brought everything together, the flashbacks, the callbacks, the people, everything came together into this last movie. It was like Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Like, we were just closing this out, making it feel really good. And I think because there were just so many giant things that had to happen in this film. Like, he has to get into a submarine, and then he has to get into a plane, and then he has to get into another plane, and then he's like going through
again, timing. Everything has to line up
perfectly
within split seconds,
And it's not just him, it's his team that is relying on all these different things to come into play that are happening exactly in the right moment that they're supposed to happen.
And I think these guys would be really good at improv, because that's all they were doing the whole movie. Like, they had a plan. It immediately goes to crap in every situation. And they're like, okay, well, we'll just do this then. Oh, we'll just yes. And,
they had to do it that way because the entity had seen all the different possibilities and had shown Ethan, you're not going to win. Like, just the tiniest thing has to go wrong and you'll lose.
Yeah.
And like, he takes that as, okay, I'll win anyways.
I'll make all of the things go wrong and it'll still work out. Yeah. You know who I am? I'm Ethan effing Hunt.
You know who I am?
He's him.
Oh, God. The opening sequence of this was really long. Like, you don't get to the classic Mission Impossible showing you kind of clips of the whole movie in the first like 30 seconds of it, doing the title card, kind of James Bondish.
Yeah.
You don't get that until like 30 minutes in. You don't even think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then you're like, God, this is going to be a long movie because
that was the intro.
Yeah. You're just like, I feel like we're an hour in and they're just doing the intro to this movie.
Yeah. Like I said, it was just go, go, go the whole time. It was almost like Tom Cruise went to the stunt department and he was like, hey guys, which stunts have we done in our previous movies? And also in Top Gun, and also, did we do any stunts in Interview with a Vampire? Because if we did, let's get it into this movie too.
Yeah. Can I be sprinting as much as I possibly can? And could you put me on as many different modes of transportation as possible?
Except for cars. I don't want to be in cars. If I'm on land, I want to be running.
If there's an option to take a vehicle on land, I will choose my feet every time.
Or a motorcycle. If it's I'll take a motorcycle. I'll jump that thing.
And how is he so fast? Like,
oh, dude.
How does he always think that he's going to outrun vehicles?
Because time after time he has.
A plane taking off, and he's like, I'm just going to sprint at it as fast as I can. I'll catch it.
He didn't catch it. Spoiler. But he caught the next one.
He tried to. He thought he was fast enough that he could catch a moving plane taking off. What's the top speed of a human? Like maybe 25 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour if you're Usain Bolt.
I think Usain Bolt was like, 28 or something.
28 miles an hour.
I could be wrong. Tell me in the comments.
That's barely moving as an airplane.
Yeah.
The dude thinks he's that fast.
He's him.
And then, he has to get flying in there. He has to get hanging from airplanes with no parachute. Then he has to get skydiving. Always has to have a skydive. He's just got to show all of his talents.
I mean, really, maybe this is just a movie. It's a documentary. This is just Tom Cruise being Tom Cruise, man.
Yeah, this is Tom Cruise's Nicolas Cage's movie. What's that one?
The Unbearable Weight of
Incredible Talent.
Yeah,
or whatever it is. Yeah, this is Tom Cruise's version of that.
Also, my main frustration with how long it was actually the final scene when everybody's just walking into that square. And there's like 30 to 45 second, slow motion push on each person as they go.
And they don't talk to each other. It's so stupid. And they all walk away without saying anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you guys are such good friends. You guys are like amazing. So that you just want to see whatever it is passed off, and you all have to witness it.
Yeah. And
then you disappear into the crowd. What would have been awesome is if they all like disappeared in the crowd, and then it shows them like at a pub or something. Just, they just all show up.
They
at
all
the
get
same place.
shawarma.
But one thing that we have to acknowledge is, I can't remember the actor's name, but he is the 30-year-old version of Trevor Wallace. In this movie.
Yeah.
Like his hairstyle and everything. We're going to throw up a picture right now of Trevor Wallace and the actor we're talking about. Boom, boom. You see it. We all see it. I could not stop seeing it in the movie.
Yeah. And then you made another connection as well. That guy's dad is John Voight. So Trevor Wallace's grandfather is John Voight.
Exactly. In this universe. Wouldn't that be so funny if they made another one and Trevor Wallace is like a young detective or something?
Yeah. That guy really, when you sent me the pictures, I was like, holy crap, he really does look like Trevor Wallace's dad.
Just like him.
Or Trevor Wallace is a time traveler.
It's only the hairstyle. Like he has a flipped up hair. Like any other picture of him without that flipped up hair didn't look like Trevor Wallace.
Really?
Yeah. But the whole movie, I could not stop seeing it because he's like a 55-year-old guy with a frat boy like hairstyle. I was like, what are you doing to this guy? He looks so dumb. And their handshake at the end.
What I actually liked about that was that when Tom Cruise walked away, that guy was like, what the heck? Like his facial expression was like, what was that? Like that was not his intention. He was just going to shake the guy's hand. Like, and Tom Cruise was like, nah, man, brothers don't shake.
We're brothers now. Yeah. There was a lot of good stuff in this movie. It was interesting. A choice that was made that every single person in power in this movie was a female. The president, the captain of the boat, the pilots of the the helicopter, the transporter, whatever that he was on. I don't have a problem with it. It's statistically, it doesn't make sense,
but it passed the Bechdel test.
But it passed the Bechdel test. If you watch Sammy and Toast's review on the Materialist, you would know what that is.
Which, here's a fun fact: the night that Stetson went to see Mission Impossible, Sammy and I were there at the theater at the same time, and we had to make a split-second decision. Do we go see? Oh no, it was Jurassic World.
Jurassic World.
Yeah. Do we go see Jurassic World with Stetson, or do we see the Materialists? And we went to see the Materialists.
Losers, but it was on Monday Mystery Movie, and the theater was packed.
Yeah.
So you're sitting next to people you don't know. Apparently everyone knew it was Jurassic World that night because everybody came in Jurassic World t-shirts or Jurassic Park t-shirts, and they were clapping.
I actually wore mine too, and I went to the Materialists.
What a dummy. I just, this has nothing to do with this movie, but I just watched the end of The Last of Us, and Pedro Pascal was in there, and I was like, hey. Still don't like him.
He's not a fan. Not a fan.
I used to like him. I'm just tired of him.
PP fatigue.
Yeah, you just can't have too much of that PP.
Not even going to touch it.
Back to Mission Impossible, though. Yeah, I thought it was fun. The whole time that I was watching it, I was liking what was happening as all the callbacks, all the reminiscing of the other characters that have been in this world, and all the fun stories that have been created in this universe.
Yeah.
It was a really cool, fun watch for me that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely was a fun one, other than just feeling tense the entire movie. Wasn't that the one also where the movie theater was super cold?
Oh, yeah.
We were
crazy cold.
We were freezing. They had that AC pumping. It must have been like 55 in there.
Yeah, no, the long movie. I thought about putting my arms in my shirt.
I was like, it's gotta be close. It's gotta be another redirect. Oh, dang it.
Another thing they have to go through.
Oh, he actually made it on the plane. Dang it.
There were some frustrating moments, like when they were in the cave and they came in and it's deserted, but somehow they left the lights on to the vehicles directly at the bomb that they're supposed to be looking at. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, read the room, guys. This doesn't make sense.
Right. Or like the flickering light in that same cave, but this cave is like a functional vault or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if that many people as were cars out there, if that many people are working there every day, they're probably changing the light bulbs out. They're not letting it flicker all the time.
I did have a problem at first with the guy. So there's a husband and wife that are going to work on the bomb. And then there's the other guy that decides to stay with them. And I'm just like, you're just deciding to stay with them just to die? You're just like, you have nothing to do. Yeah. But you're just going to stay there just to die. But then he helps.
But then it was a good thing that he stayed because they needed to cut 3 at the same time. Yeah.
But originally I'm just like, you're just...
Right. No when he didn't know that there was going to be any. Yeah. It did seem like a really dumb thing when he's literally like, okay, yeah, I'll just stick around here and wait for this bomb to go off. Yeah.
With a husband and wife, that makes sense that they want to die together. Like if one of them's going to die, then they both can die together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually said in theaters, like, just to die?
Yeah.
You're going to stay around just to die? You don't think you could be a little bit more useful continuing this mission down the road?
Right. When the main dude's shot and then these other what's
the 2 girls that were carrying him
yeah, you don't think that guy might need a little bit of help?
Come on.
Plus he seemed like he might have some medical experience too, and that's what that guy needed. But
yeah, could have helped.
But instead he helped disarm the bomb. So.
And they magically had 10 seconds before
they made
the bomb went out.
10 seconds to safety. incredible. Or some would say impossible.
Almost impossible.
Nothing's impossible when Ethan Hunt's involved.
Well, let's give this thing a rating. What do you think?
I think it's kind of impossible to rate this movie. But when I did rate it on Letterboxd, there like secret video came up that made me feel like I was part of the movie, you know, and then it self-destruct. My phone actually blew up in 10 seconds. So
Dang.
Not super cool, Tom Cruise, but I mean, it was cool to feel like that in the moment. I thought it was a fun watch. It didn't feel like it's not my favorite Mission Impossible movie, I don't think. Mm-hmm. I think Ghost Protocol is probably still my favorite.
That's the second one?
No, Ghost Protocol, I think might be the one, the Henry Cavill one.
Second to last one, I think.
Yeah. The one before they started the Final Reckoning stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give it a 3.8.
3.8.
Yeah.
I am going to say I thought this wrapped up the story, like I said before, better than any other kind of saga that I've seen. In the way that just made you feel good. Made you feel good that it was kind of ending. Felt like like a Lord of the Rings kind of feeling to me.
Yeah. I was thinking of it. Sorry to interrupt you, but that just made me think of how they ended James Bond, you know, and you don't really feel good about that.
No. Yeah. This felt good. It felt like you knew Ethan Hunt, and this was an Ethan Hunt movie. And because of that, I really enjoyed it. I did think it was a little bit long. I thought it went into a little bit too many steps to get to the end. I thought the plane chases at the end was a little ridiculous, where he's chasing him down, sees him all the time, and then all of a sudden he just does not care where Ethan Hunt is, and he's right underneath him. All he had to do is just look over his shoulder. Ridiculous. But all in all, I'm going to give this thing a 4.1. Pretty good.
Pretty close reviews here.
Yeah. Enjoyable, not the best thing in the world, but in the world of Mission Impossible,
pretty good. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on this episode. Let us know what you guys thought about Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, and if you agree with what we said.
Let us know.
Catch
See you on the next one.